Hi, everybody. Welcome to an interview. And today it is with Lauren, who you have seen before. Welcome back, Lauren.
Thank you, Agnes. I'm so excited to see you and say hello to all the viewers too.
Yes, I'm looking forward to hearing your update. Just let people know where you are.
Sure. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee in the USA.
Okay.
And I'm from a little bit all over the place in the US, but this is where I am now.
Cool. Lovely, lovely. So, the to be continued of your story. Where are you up to since we last heard from you in 2019? What's happened in terms of work, love, money, meaningful work? What's happened?
The short answer to that is a lot. And I think the part that I love the most is the constant growth and the awareness. And there have been a lot of really big wins, and there are still some days that aren't, perfect. But what I have noticed is that the growth that's happened since I really started working on myself, working with a coach like you, putting time every single day towards study and doing my affirmations and meditating and just keeping my mind right, that has paid off in huge, huge, huge dividends. So yeah. I think when we last talked, I was working on manifesting a specific person. I had also started my coaching and consulting business. Yeah. I was a realtor, I think, the last time we did an interview, but I have since decided to go ahead and hang that up. And that has done good things for me. And so things are moving in the right direction in every area that you just mentioned. So short answer on love, there's a different person now. I did end up hearing back from the person that I was focused on initially, but I think that because I decided, you know what, I'm going to just work on myself. I think what ended up happening there was that I grew a lot. I'm sure that the original person grew too, but maybe not in the same way or at the same rate. So I ultimately decided, hey, this opportunity that I have with this new person who's right in front of me and who is pursuing me is a whole lot more of what I'm actually looking for. And I was able to get very good clarity on that because of how clear I was with myself with what I wanted. So that's a huge win. For my business, it was always, since 2015, my dream to be working with people like you do, but also have a focus on the business to business aspect of that. Like, how do we bring this type of coaching to businesses? If you think back on all the places where you've worked, if there would have been someone within that organization or someone that they hired where they were providing this type of life-changing coaching to people, how much more likely would it have been that you stayed? So that is a huge love for me. I've worked business to business before, and I realize, hey, this is a missing piece of the puzzle. Employers are going to have a lot better time keeping the right people if they're empowering them with this type of thought. So that's been huge. Things are moving in the right direction there. I have several clients right now that are just individual clients. Yeah. So I'm taking that as birds before land. I've been at this for a little over a year now, and the changes that I get to see in other people's lives, this is the incredible thing about being able to be working in this space. So there's a huge update there, is that it's been a year and things are building and moving in the right direction. And I'm really proud of where it's going and the fact that lives are changing before my eyes. That's just a great it's a privilege to be able to do that.
Mm.
And then financially, I think the biggest win so far financially has been, again, it just goes back to awareness. I had been focused for so long on the love and the relationship aspect of what I really, really wanted. And now that I kind of have that at a flow and it feels like it's under control and I know what to do every day to keep my mind right, you know, I have my routine built with that, and it's a part of what I do. It's a part of who I am. I did so much work on that for so long, it's natural that just kind of manifested first, right?
Yeah.
Since then, I've obviously been working on, like, okay, how much do I really want to earn? What will I do with that money once I earn it? What do I need to do in order to earn it? And why have my money paradigms or patterns or habits kept me at this certain level for this many years? I was watching the habits and I was watching the patterns. And since I have been paying more attention to that, things have kind of like done the whole roller coaster thing. But I'm so proud of the fact that I know, you know, there's the awareness around what I need to do to fix it. And now I'm so much more purposeful in what I'm studying, what I'm doing my affirmations around, what I'm doing my scripting around, so that I know, hey, if I put the work in on the love, the self-love, and the relationship aspect, and it showed up in a really big and amazing way, there's the proof, there's the guarantee that this is happening by law. So if I put in the same work on this money situation, on the financial situation, and I build the right habits, and I start to love this new way of life that I'm building, that income goal is going to be showing up sooner or later as well. So that's the long and the short of it in those three big areas.
That's wonderful. It's so good when you really look at what you really want and really turn away as much as you can. I mean, from especially work, because we spend so much time there, and you know, give it your best. You try and be as grateful as you can while you're there. Look for the good things within the situation. And also you start to say goodbye to that job and say to yourself, okay, I'm going to miss this, I'm going to miss that. And really try to leave with a clean energy, so to speak, so you don't take it into the next workplace.
Yes.
So I do think that when you can do that, you end up, and the same for relationships. If you can go back and look at the things within a relationship that were not to your liking, and start to dissolve and resolve, whether you use Ho'oponopono, the inner child meditation, you know, whatever other techniques you want to use, that you clear your own kind of body suitcase, because you carry so much stuff within you. If you can clear that when you're single, I think you are so much better a partner for somebody, or an employee if you want a job, or a business owner if you want to start your own thing.
Right.
So, and I've had quite a bit of contact with you over time, and seen the progression, and you know, you and I talked about how rewarding this profession is, because you get to talk a lot about what you're interested in personally. You merge your personal life and your business life, because what you study personally, you inject into your business. So it is such a wonderful, wonderful platform. I'm thrilled that you're going to be coaching people. I think it's going to be, you know, just such a, because you're practicing what you're talking about.
Right. And the best part about coaching, and you can probably relate to this too, it's what you just said. Being able to be in constant study of this means that I get to keep growing. I get to keep creating. I get to keep changing lives, you know, partnering with people to do that, helping people change their business. I mean, that's just so, it's what I always wanted from companies who had employed me previously. And really only one place where I worked, and I have an extensive, I like to work. So I've worked a lot of places, a lot of different places. And out of all of the companies that I ever worked for, only one had coaching that was specifically geared toward mindset coaching and talking to people about the universal laws and the things that Napoleon Hill and Earl Nightingale and all of those great thinkers have put in front of us as a pretty easy blueprint to follow. It's just amazing to me to know it would be so easy, you know, to provide this type of coaching and training on the job for people, and that would just help the company do so much better. That's my focus for this year. Continue helping my individual clients. There'll always be a stream set up where people can hop on board and get a lot of value out of, you know, a little bit of time. But working with businesses, that's my passion. That's where I need to be, because that's my background. And I see such a huge need, because we do spend a lot of time at work. So
we do.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yes.
Yeah. So going into 2020, what are you, I mean, without going into, you know, sharing the bits and pieces too deeply, because it's good to keep things private. What are you working on for this year?
Sure. For work, definitely making steps toward having business clients. So for example, right now, I'm in a networking group. It's an international networking group, and that has just been a fabulous feeder for my business to be able to connect me to other business people. And, you know, the same group of people get to hear from me every single week, and I get to give value to those people. Sometimes I get to have an 8-minute spot. Anyway, there is a dentist from that group. She has owned her business and has practiced since the 80s. And she's dealing with constant things like, sometimes there's turnover of her key employees, like the other dentist in the business or the office manager. And that type of thing gets very expensive. And she's heard my commercials every week, and she's heard me speak at least once. And she says, I really need to get on board with this. I need to be able to provide this type of coaching to my staff, because she can see how when you empower the people around you to go out and get the things that they want in life, as a business owner, that's going to be, it's just going to pay in such huge dividends. So having more business clients is something that I'm creating. On the relationship end, I think I would say there the focus would be to just enjoy it day by day. I mean, I never want to compare people, but I'm sure that people are curious about, you know, why did you, I mean, I just made a decision. Person A that I was thinking of for a long time is just vastly different from the person who's in my life now. And it was such an easy choice. I did not want to go out with him. Apparently he was pursuing me, but asked a mutual friend to set us up. And my thought was, I really, really like my life. I like what I've created. I guess I'll, you know, give this a shot and have lunch with this person. But it was just such a pleasant surprise. And the thing that I always tell people, they're like, oh, how's it going? I see some pictures. What's happening? And I always tell them, this is the easiest and most fun relationship that I've ever been in. It's easy and it's fun. And so I think the goal for this year will be just continue to keep that pace. Obviously, there are things that I would like to see show up, but in the meantime, I'm just enjoying it. It's like Abraham says, you know, ease and flow, ease and flow. Or Bob Proctor says, I'm so happy and grateful now that I let everything good flow into my life free and easy. Yeah. It's just, it's that type of feeling. And so, I'm really, really proud of myself for not just attracting that caliber of person, but for maintaining the relationship and showing up in the relationship in a very different way than I had ever been in any. And I'm talking, I mean, I've been out of high school for 20 years. So I was only married for 4 of those years. So that tells you, I mean, you can guess approximately how many guys came in and out of my life. I never knew what to do. I never felt equipped. I felt like I was lacking a lot of tools. And once I started really, really focusing on self-love and getting very, very clear on the things that I wanted in my life, the intangible things, you know, comfort, security, happiness, calm, peace, fun, joy. Okay. Focusing on those things, and then poof, he just shows up. And now I know what to do about it. Now I know how to be a contributor. Now I know how to give to him, and continue to give to myself so that I'm not becoming a needy taker. I just have to tell you a huge thank you for that. And also, I'm really freaking proud of myself. Because 20 years worth of not knowing what to do, that really hurts. And that is really frustrating. That is really, really like, what am I doing wrong? I don't feel like that anymore. Not at all. So that's a focus in the relationship area. You know, continue to enjoy that day by day, continue to be a contributor, continue to bring happiness and love and peace and comfort to his life. You know, without going into too much detail, he works a job where he's away from home a lot. He's also a widower, and he has 2 almost grown kids. So all 3 of those things were items that I had never done before. And I remember I'm always thinking to myself, like, gosh, previous me would have messed this up by now. And I am so happy that he's happy, and I'm so happy that I'm happy. And it's just a continued focus on enjoying and giving. And then focus for 2020 with the finances. I've done some different things. You know, if you want different results, you have to have different thoughts, and you have to have different habits, right? So the things that I have added are now, like I said, now that I've got the self-love and the relationship affirmations and the scripting of how I want my life to go under control, I've been switching the focus and working more on the money aspect. And one of the things that has happened because of all of that internal work is that I've hired a bookkeeper to help me. I never really understood how money worked before. I was very much a person who, like I used to say, it's just money, I'll make more. You know, I could never keep it. The thoughts that were drilled into my head were, Lauren, I'm using my mom's voice, you have a champagne taste and a beer pocketbook. Actually, you have a water pocketbook. And I'm like, right, Mom, but I have a champagne work ethic. So, but it was always work, get a pile of money, and then spend it all. Like I was making so much money at a couple points in my life, but no one ever taught me how to do the right things with it. And that doesn't mean just save it. And it doesn't mean just invest it. The smartest thing to do with your money is to set up multiple streams of income so that when you're sleeping, you can make more money. And you're a person who's done this. I did that a little bit. You know, I worked in insurance before, so there's still a small paycheck that comes every month because of work that I did for those 7 years. But if I can set up more and more and more of those, and then learn what to do with every dollar that comes through my business now, that gets allocated a certain way, because I have realized, hey, this is an area where I need help. I'm not the expert. I'm a doctor. new thoughts and I'm adopting new habits. But if I put myself in an environment or partner with someone who is really good at money, and they think like I do, because turns out she's one of my clients. So we have a great partnership because she understands the path that I'm on. She knows that, I mean, she's definitely not ever judging me for my current situation. And that's something that I've had to learn too. Our current situation has zero bearing on the infinite potential that we have. The bank account right now is just a reflection of everything that I've believed up until this point. The bank account never lies. The results are always true. However, just because I have those current results doesn't mean that I'm not fully equipped to completely change that and make it be exactly what I want it to.
Correct.
So focus for the finances for 2020 would be continue to build new thoughts and new habits, stay disciplined. Again, I'm working part-time still, so that money can go straight into my bank account and I can spend that on bills and things like that because the taxes and whatever are already figured out. But now that I have this accountability partner and a person who truly understands where I'm going and is there to support me, she's that person. Like every dollar that's come through my business gets put in the right spot so that I can pay taxes and I can give myself a profit and give myself a paycheck, and it's building and it's growing and it's just creating the right habits and caring about doing that so that I'm setting myself up for the future. And then sky's the limit from there. I'll be looking for other ways to not just reinvest it, but help that money make more money while I'm sleeping.
Sounds like a great plan. It's wonderful to kind of work through the different areas in your life. You start with one area that's, whether it's relationship first, then you move on to work, then you move on to money, and you work through these and you keep sifting through to keep improving them. But I do think when you work on the self first, that lays the good foundation, and then all the subjects are easier because they're kind of stacked on top of that. And it just seems to make everything easier when you work on, I am wealthy, I am loved, I am successful, I am, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And practicing that. I've been doing that because I'm here in this resort for a week. Every day I go and do 50 laps in the pool. I might do 20 in the morning, then I might do, 10 in the middle of the day. I don't do it all at once because I'm not a big, full-on swimmer. But while I'm swimming, I'm doing my affirmations. And it's such a great time with repetition, repetition of a movement and then a repetition of the mind at the same time. It's just such a wonderful thing to build into your day in whatever way it works. I mean, you can do it after work, you can do it on your lunch break, you can do it, whenever it works for you. So, and it's those little bits that you do while you have a job that you don't, because usually when you're working a lot, you don't have a lot of time. And when you have time, you're tired from not working. So you got to just do a little bit and you kind of drip feed in the beginning, but it all adds up. It all adds up. Like you said, since you've been doing all this, you were, I want to manifest a specific person, and you kept going with that. Then all of a sudden it took a left turn, but you've ended up with something amazing irregardless.
That's right. It's so true. And when we focus on taking care of ourselves and our mind first, everything else follows, like you said, and this is the reason I really appreciate this new man in my life. He's been around for almost 6 months. That's hard to believe at times, and other times I'm just like, wow, this is just going so great. He's so easy to talk to about this type of thing. He's been through a lot in his life, and it's easy for me to have conversations with him about what I'm building and how I would like for him to adopt these same thoughts and beliefs. You know, it really truly does start with loving yourself. I actually had him read Kamal's book the other day, and he had great feedback on that. You know, so to be able to have this person in my life and know that we'll be on this journey together and have this path and get to enjoy these same conversations like I do with you and other people who study this, you know, that's really, really a blessing.
It is. Fabulous. It's so good to hear where you're going, because I know you had a few tacks with work, and you know, you were trying to manifest a specific person, and you just kept going, and it wasn't the easiest, 18 months. It was challenging, but you kept at it, and then eventually you get to the top of the mountain, and then whoosh, it's a breakthrough. It's wonderful to see.
Right.
Yeah.
It just feels like everything in my life makes so much more sense now.
Yeah.
I mean, if that, and I was talking with a good friend of mine. She's been in my life since 2008, so more than a decade. And she said, Lauren, in the last 3 years, you have done so much growing. But I think the thing that I notice the most about you now is that you're so much more calm. You know, she goes, you used to freak out about every little thing, but now you're moving through life and you know exactly what you want, and you don't always know how you're going to get it, but you just know that it's going to come through, and you're so much more calm. And it's like, that's a huge compliment, because what that tells me is I'm not living in anxiety anymore. I'm not living in constant fear. I think when we have those two things floating around in our life, it just shows up and it ruins everything, I mean, especially in the relationship part. I know you lived through that too. And so to have a friend hold up the mirror and reflect that back, and it was incredible to hear that. So it's been so good.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Now, are you still?
And that doesn't mean they're.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, it doesn't mean that every day is like a walk in the park and roses and ice cream cones. But what it does mean is when something goofy comes up, because I'm a human, and we're all going through the human experience, and there are a lot of things that are not in our control. The other thing that I've noticed is if I have a day where I'm off, first of all, they're not happening as often. And second of all, if I do feel off, I'm so much better at paying attention to my emotions, and I can reframe my thoughts, which make my emotions feel different. And then my body acts a different way, and I do different things, and I get different results. It's like, if a bad day comes up, I can solve it so much easier, and I'm not on the phone calling 50 different people saying, what do I do? It's just, okay, I feel yucky. So what am I thinking about? Okay, those thoughts are making me feel yucky. So if I want to feel better, I have to change my thoughts. Gratitude fixes that. Ho'oponopono fixes that. I mean, I have the tools, and you taught me a lot of them. So thank you.
That's lovely. There's such good tools that we get from, so many amazing places, and you distill them down to the ones that work for you, and it's different ones for different people. But I think Ho'oponopono is still one of my favorites, and, affirmations, and I am love, I am loved, I belong, I'm secure, I'm first best. They still work for me. Even after all these years, they're still the basic ones I go back to. And it is such a wonderful life when you understand the mechanics of this stuff. It makes your life so much easier. Like you say, you don't have perfect days, but you just go, okay, I'm gonna really just acknowledge that I am a human being. I'm not living in happy, joyful all the time. It's not possible. So you know, you accept your humanness, you accept that you're not feeling great, you're tired, you've been working too much, or you got woken up by the neighbors having a party all weekend and you're grumpy. Whatever it is, you just go, okay, I'm going to just course correct as best I can, and you know, that's how it goes. How are you going with your are you still doing your YouTube channel? Were you doing that?
I put up a few videos, but because of my beloved fluffy critters, my home is not a great place to make those. However, now that I'm getting my schedule a little bit better settled, and I've found a great library close to the house. It takes, I've been in Nashville for 4 years this time.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how long it takes to really find your spots where you're comfy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I have found a library, so I need to start adding to the channel a little bit more.
Cool. I'll put the link down below for people, you know, to look at what you've already got, because it's, you know, the same content that's for the same subjects. And I think hearing it from different people in different ways is always worth a look, you know, because people relate to different people. Yeah. And the thing I always loved about you, Lauren, is you've got a real warmth and a real giving nature. You just have that. It's just in you. You can thank your mum for that. Apart from the champagne taste and the beer budget, you can say, I did get that from you.
I love my mom. She's so funny. Well, thank you. That is a wonderful, wonderful compliment. I do. I love helping people, and I feel I've always been in a helping career or position with work, but doing this type of work, I get to help a broader range of people with exactly what they want. It's not a cookie cutter. It's not a one size fits all. It's, what do you really want? How can I help you? And then you and I and other great teachers and coaches know, okay, let me tailor this experience to exactly what you need.
Exactly.
So, and it's like you said, different teachers, the light bulb is going to go off for different people. Yeah. It resonates differently. But something that I've learned is repetitious learning, listening to the same thing, or reading the same chapter from the same book, or studying, you know, the same minute one sentence over and over and over again. It's amazing how studying like that is really a powerful way to go about things. I think for a while I was just consuming as much content as I could because to me, and I love learning, but my results really started to shift. Like there's one meditation of yours that I've probably played 500 times. You know, it's the one that works for me, and it's the same meditation, just like it would be the same chapter in the book or whatever it is. But every time I approach that, I have grown a little bit. So I'm a different person when I approach that same material. Yeah. And that's been a game changer, honestly, to listen or study, listen to or study the same thing over and over. Yeah. And it's like, okay, now I get it. Or, I never noticed that piece before. That's so true. Really interesting.
I agree with you. I think going over things again and again and again, especially like say you listened to it a year ago, you listen to it now, like say YouTube or a book, it's like you see it with totally different eyes. It's so, because you've evolved. Yeah. Fabulous. Fabulous. So do you want to say anything else you wanted to share, or that something you've learned that's really helped you?
Besides that tip on repetitious study, I had never considered that before. It felt very unnatural, because, you know, in school they teach us, hey, read this book or take this course and memorize this information and spit it out on the test. And then you never have to bother with it again. Yeah. It feels very unnatural to study like that. But again, I would just say that has been a very, very helpful way of studying.
Mm.
Another game changer for me, I was taking the little clicky thingy around, and I had a job over the summer where I had quite a bit of free time to be alone with my mind. I would see people, and then I had free time, and then I'd see people and have free time. So it was the perfect time to have my clicker and be saying my affirmations. There's something different about when you write things out. And again, there's no right or wrong, but just something that worked really well for me was committing to write the affirmations out and committing to doing scripting. I think when we can sit down and make ourselves write something out, whether it's the same thing over and over for affirmations or just the free flowing writing and going through the story of how we want our life to be. Someone challenged me over the summer to write the same affirmation over and over and over again. And it was, I am a calm and confident leader demanding prosperity in my life now. And at first, I would sit down and write this every day. And he told me, you need to write this 50 times every day. And I'm just like, ugh. I feel like Bart Simpson writing on the board. But something huge shifted when I took that challenge. And I think I did it for probably 3 months straight. So 90 days, and 50 affirmations would cost me an hour a day.
Yep.
I mean, it was hefty. However, probably about 25 affirmations in, if I could sit down and do them all at once, around the halfway mark, I'm like, yeah, I am a confident, worthy, and powerful leader demanding. The first 25, you're just working to calm your mind. The second 25, it's like, okay, yeah, I do believe this, because I understand affirmations can sound like total lies sometimes.
Yeah.
But when you're reprogramming the subconscious mind, then it does all of the work for you. Yeah. And it was very interesting to do that challenge and to see, like, okay, sitting down and forcing myself to write causes me to calm down. And then when I can calm down, Gesundheit. Thank you. Someone sneezed in Australia, and I was able to tell them, God bless you. I love that. Anyway, writing causes pictures in our mind, and it's those pictures in our mind that we can get emotionally attached with, and then the emotions are cooking up the right things, then our actions follow. So that's just something that really worked for me, that I would not have chosen to do on my own.
Yeah.
So, if the viewers are wondering, which should I pick? It's ultimately up to you, but maybe challenge yourself with something different and do it, commit to doing it for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And that's really going to be what causes that big realization, or it causes a shift in our thoughts and then our emotions, and then we automatically get different actions and results.
I agree. Because I think people, when I'm coaching, I see people are jumping around to lots of different things. And it's like going to the gym and you do 10 of these, the next day you do 10 of those, and you never get to see any progression in that particular muscle group. And this is the same. You don't see any particular change when you jump around. So I find I've been doing the same things for probably 10 years now, and I've reduced it down to just meditation, affirmations, and I will do some scripting on a particular thing. And also I do like a vision board at the beginning of the year, and then I let everything else go and I stick to meditation, affirmations, because it's learning to control the mind. If you learn to control the mind, then the outside will adjust accordingly. So doing all these, and of course going to bed and imagining, that's the other one. Whatever I've affirmed, then I create a scene where I get into that feeling of, oh, isn't it wonderful that I'm enjoying, whatever it is. I had one yesterday. Right. I'm in this hotel and I'm here for a week. And one of my affirmations has been, I now attract upgrades, promotions, and discounts. And I don't say it regularly. I just say it when I'm with my law of attraction friend that I've had for 30 years. When we talk every second day, we do what we appreciate, and then we do what I'm happy and grateful now that, and then we do a third question, what makes you think you're going to get it? Because that question presupposes that you will get it. So one of my affirmations I say to her is, I now attract upgrades, promotions, and discounts. So I messaged her yesterday and I said, you're never going to guess. They've just given me the only room in the hotel with a balcony. And it's got a bigger bathroom than any of the other rooms. I think it's just been re-renovated. It's absolutely like spotless and brand new. And I'm in the really quiet part of the hotel because a lot of people go on tours here because it's so hot during the day. They do tours at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So every morning there'd be people talking outside in corridors. They'd be on their phones or like ringing other people in other rooms at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, oh, come on. I'm a night owl. I do all my tours at night. So that was really starting to, so I thought, okay, you're on holidays. Everybody does it differently. Relax yourself. If you're tired, go and sleep during the day when it's hot. And I kept saying, while I was doing my swimming, one of my affirmations was, I now attract upgrades, promotions, and discounts. So not only did they upgrade me, he gave me a drink voucher for the 5-star hotel. He gave me this little fruit basket. And he gave me, what was the other thing he gave me? There was some other voucher. He gave me this bag that's usually the ones that you buy at reception, this nice little compact bag that you can take with you everywhere you go. Because I brought a backpack and I'm not carrying a backpack while I'm here. It's too hot. So, I thought, here we go. There's the evidence of that. There's the evidence of that. Like, thank you. I mean, it was such a unbelievable. I didn't expect that. I just thought you changed the inside. I wasn't thinking I would get it here. I was quite, happy just being on holidays and having some time to do my self-love and work more deeply at getting, some rest because I've been outputting a lot with people and I really needed to recharge my battery. So I thought, you know what? Yes. Be grateful for where you're at. Be grateful for this amazing place. And when you relax and you let go, that's often when I see that things come in an unexpected way. So I'm very grateful for the knowledge that we have around affirming what you desire and meditations and all that stuff, because it puts your mind away from unwanted. It turns you towards what you need to be thinking about for the energy to break, because it's like the energy gets really dense when you're stuck in that stuff. And you can't be manifesting from that stuck, unwanted, I hate this place. You got to move. Right.
Yes. So. I mean, everything you said is so true. And the thing that it reminded me of, a lot of people would look at that situation and go, oh, Agnes is just lucky. Yeah. I had a very strange and uncomfortable conversation with another person from that networking group.
Yeah.
And she just kept saying, I don't think she understands what I do. And I think probably because she's a business advisor, she is probably a little bit threatened or insecure about the fact that I would like to work with businesses too. But you and I know there's abundance, not scarcity. At any rate, her conversation was very much like, well, don't you think that luck is involved? Like, sometimes it's just about doing the right things and strategic growth and then luck. And I'm like, no, luck doesn't exist. It all happens by law. Yeah. And it's more than just the law of attraction. There's hundreds of universal laws at play. Yeah. And when we live in harmony with the law, we get results over and over. Just like you got, you're swimming in the pool, you're doing your affirmations, you let go of resistance, and then poof, this stuff shows up.
Yeah.
That's not surprising. That's not luck. That's law.
Mm.
And the other thing that she said to me, which you touched on earlier, was, isn't it exhausting to have to just control your thoughts all the time? And I'm like, lady, either you control your thoughts or they control you. And when they're controlling you, that's typically when you get the results that you don't want.
Yeah.
I mean, I would rather, it's work. You and I both know that it's work. It becomes a joy at some point to go, okay, I know how to fix this. But at first it feels like really, really heavy lifting.
Yep.
But my question to her is, which would you rather do? Learn to control your thoughts so that you can get the outcome that you want in life, or pretend like you're someone you're not your entire life because you don't know why you're getting the results that you're getting? It's like I felt for her, because I'm like, I remember feeling like that, and I'm sorry that you still do.
Yeah.
I'm here to help whenever you're ready. But it was just like, that's how most people view everything that we talk about. And this is not, this is not a fad. This is not something that we study. It's not an actual diet. I think some people look at the word mental diet and they go, I'm on a mental diet. No, like, this is a way of life. This is the only way of life. It's like gravity. You're either working in harmony with gravity or you're not. You don't have to believe in the laws. They exist whether you believe in them or not. So it's been an incredible journey. It's been, and I can't wait to see what's happening next.
Lovely.
Thank you for everything that you've given to me and the part that you have consistently played in my life. I know that I'm able to just reach out to you whenever, and I love that you are the giving and loving and warm person. I learned it from you, maybe. Definitely.
That's
and maybe
lovely. And maybe your mom.
My mom is a little bit of the opposite personality. She gives in different ways.
She gives in different ways. That's it.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I so appreciate it. And I just love seeing those of you that I've had contact with for many years now, and that you're creating these little pockets of businesses and channels and giving and paying it forward and continuing your own journeys in the background. I just love that. To me, it's so wonderful to share the journey with you, having seen where you were and what you did and where you are. It's a wonderful thing. So thank you, Lauren.
Thank you so much for having me on, and thank you for your constant support. It really does help to know there's people around the world, and I come to their mind, and I know that they just send that little happy energy.
Yeah.
This is the place to be. And I will close my sentiments with this. This was something that you told me in one of our emails. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going. For those that are a few steps behind me on this journey, keep learning, keep immersing yourself in this material. This is not just an interesting thing to study. This is how life works. So keep going, keep studying, keep asking people who are ahead of you on the path for help. Keep looking for the right answers, and listen to your emotions, because they are never going to steer you wrong. And when you can learn to regulate how you feel, you can go back and say, okay, what am I thinking? And then that the rest of it will fall into place. So that's my encouragement to your lovely viewers.
Lovely. Well, everybody, that comes to an end now. It comes. Lauren and I, we're finished. We'll see you in the next YouTube, and I will put down below Lauren's channel, any links of anything that we discussed, and I will see you in the next interview and in the next YouTube from the desert in Australia. Lauren, hang on and we'll say goodbye in private.